as usual, would be, no, they can't. Cheers, man. Okay, so once again, you're welcome to the top-down analysis live from Value Flow Trading Hub, and we are excited to have you all here with us, both those online and those on sites. So, without wasting much time, we're going to be looking at, as usual, the dollar index from the higher time frame all the way to the lower time frame. We're also going to be looking at a few foreign currencies, that is the GBP USD and the Euro USD. And during the course of this TDA, we're also going to look at gold as relating to all precious metals, silver and the likes. Then we're going to look at the yen basket and a few yen related currencies. So sit tight and enjoy the analysis as we commence. So looking at the dollar index from the higher time frame, you can see clearly that the dollar index on the weekly is looking like it's going to resume its bullish trend. So the dollar index had bullish trend, and we've made mention of that some weeks ago. So we are looking at a possible resumption of the bullish trend as it stands. Currently, there is a daily high that the dollar index needs to clear out for it to have a direct push to the upside. So for momentum to resume to the upside and for us to confirm the rally of the dollar index, we'd want to see it break that daily high. So we're going to look at the daily time frame to confirm that. Okay, so on the daily time frame, this right here, where I'm dropping a horizontal line, is the last most obvious bearish swing to the downside. Okay, so this high right here is the last obvious bearish swing to the downside. So we want to see the dollar index break that high and then continue trading further upwards. So as we are going into the week, first thing first, we want to also let you know that the NFP came out last week, and one of the things we usually want to do in the week following the NFP is that we want to see where the market is going to move to. We want to allow the market to digest the NFP and give us a clear direction. So that is one of the things that we want to do this week. That's one of the things we're expecting this week. So we're expecting that the market to digest the NFP and give us a clear direction. And for that to happen, one of the levels we're looking at is this high right here on the dollar index. We're anticipating that the dollar index is going to break this high, and then we'll start trading the dollar upwards continuously. All right, so that's what we're anticipating on the daily time frame. A break of this high, a retest, and then a continuation. All right, that being said, let's also look at the 4-hour time frame for some intraday trades. Now, looking at the 4-hour time frame, we have noticed that during the course of the volatile news releases on Wednesday through to Friday, we had high impact news releases. Price has broken out of this range. So this range has been a concern for us during our top-down analysis, but currently we're seeing that price has pushed out of this range. Now we may see a retest because of this very huge fair value gap right here. We might see a sharp retest to any of the levels, possibly 50% of this fair value gap, because it's very wide. Now listen to this. When we have very wide fair value gaps or very long order blocks, what we usually do is that we mark 50% of either the fair value gap or the other block, whichever one we are analyzing at the moment. And then we anticipate that price is going to come to at least 50% of that fair value gap. Okay, because in so many cases, for price to move up this much, that is to show us that the volatility is to the upside, right? So there's pressure on price to the upside. We may not want to see it come all the way down here. For it to come all the way down here, that means the sales are taking over. So we would want to see price trade to at least 50% of the fair value gap and then continue. Maybe during a dollar dump, price may completely fill up the fair value gap. For this bullish rally, we would want to see price come to at least 50% of that fair value gap. So for today, Monday, the 5th of February, we're going to mark this fair value gap 50% right here. And we anticipate that price is coming all the way down to this level. So two things that we are looking out for on the dollar index for this week. First is that price returns to 50% of this fair value gap right here. Okay. And second is that price goes to break above here. So this is the path we want to see price follow. Go and break above here and return to this fair value gap, or return to this fair value gap 50% and then trade above. So these are the two paths that we will expect DXY to follow this week. So whichever one it does would follow it. So if it's coming down, we're anticipating it to come down all the way to this place. If it's going up, we're anticipating that it breaks above here. And to confirm that, we'll use our 1 hour time frame structure to confirm which of the directions is going first. Okay. With that being said, we'll look at other foreign currencies like the Euro USD for starters. On the Euro USD, looking at the weekly time frame, confirm that Euro USD is still on a bearish trend. Look at this swing high and the swing low. Price has not done anything to either of them. So we anticipate that price is targeting the swing low, since that is the overall direction of Euro USD. Okay. Looking at it on the daily time frame, we are seeing that price is coming close to the last swing low of the daily time frame. And like we've also analyzed and thought that until price breaks this swing low, we will not confirm a bearish bias on Euro USD. Because on the daily time frame, we have an uptrend. So we'll be anticipating this week, since the dollar is strong and the euro, based on sentiment, is not as strong as the dollar, we're anticipating that this week we're going to see a break of this low on the Euro USD. Okay, so we're going to mark that with a horizontal line. So the price point is somewhere around 1.07258. 1.07258. So we're anticipating that this week the Euro USD is going to break this low. And until it does that, the daily still remains bullish based on structure for the Euro USD. So two things that we're looking out for on the Euro USD: break of this low and the retest, then continuation to the downside. That is the first thing that we're looking out for. Second thing, we're going to find that out in the 4 hour time frame. Just like the dollar index, we may see a retest of this huge fair value gap, a retest to this huge fair value gap right here. So we may see a retest to this fair value gap all the way to this level right here before price continues to go downward. So if that doesn't happen, that means the first target is going to be that daily low, and then the second target will be a retest and continuation. All right, so two outlooks for euro. Remember, we said we are just coming out of the NFP and FOMC week. We want to allow price to digest what it's going to do. So we have two outcomes for our analysis today. First is to trade into this fair value gap and continue going downwards to break the daily low. Second is to break the daily low, retest it, and then continue going downwards. All right, so I will most likely sit on my hands for today being Monday and watch which of these levels price is going to go to first, so that I'll know the next line of direction. On to the GBP USD. Now, the Great British Pound against the dollar has been in quite some range, an annoying range, I would say, because it's one of the pairs I prefer to trade because of obvious reasons, you know. So over the last few weeks, it has not given me good entries because of the range that it has been in, and I've avoided it. I traded the Euro USD because sentiment was clear on the Euro as compared to the GBP. All right, so on the weekly time frame on the GBP, clearly we are in a downtrend, very clear downtrend. Okay, because price has broken the structure and given us a retest. Now, what we want to see is a continuation. And on the daily time frame, we've not seen such because of the range that price has been in. But due to the high impact news release of last week, including the Great British interest rate, it came out the same 4.5% interest rate. So they kept it flat. So we may not see so much, as we are not expecting so much on the GBP versus the dollar. Okay. So for the daily time frame, it hasn't broken out of this range yet. So we're anticipating that possibly this week, we may see some injection of volatility to break out of this range to the downside. Until it does that, I'm keeping my hands off GBP USD clearly. I will not want to give free money to the market makers. Okay, so looking at the 4-hour time frame also, we want to see GBP USD break out of this range. Look at how clear it is on the 4-hour time frame. Now, if you remember a couple of weeks ago, we had a point of interest right here that GBP USD has shied away from, which is this other block residing right here. Okay, so going into this week, if GBP USD is going to break out of that range, one of the first targets is going to be this other block. Right, so it's going to target this other block, retest the range, and then break out. So this is what I'm anticipating from GBP. If at all it's going to give me any good trade setup this week, trade into this other block, retest this range, and then break out. That is one. Second thing is to go and clear all the liquidity to the upside, because there's a whole lot of liquidity residing on the upside. So clear the liquidity to the upside and then continue trading downwards. All right, so I will sit and grab some popcorn and watch the drama unfold on GBP USD. So that is it for dollar related pairs this morning. We're going to be looking at gold and the yen. All right, so in conclusion, for the dollar related pairs, I'm sitting to watch as the market digests the outcome of NFP and FOMC as released last week, and I'll follow these projections that we're given and watch them play out. When they move in my direction, I would know what to do next. All right, so we're going to call Mr. Lekon to take us on gold and yen pairs.
Thank you, CG. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, good morning, everyone. Yeah. Right, our analysis on gold this morning. Now, looking at gold this morning from the higher time frame, like let's see it from the higher time frame. And on the higher time frame, on the daily, we can still see that gold is still very much bullish. You can see that's what is happening currently now on gold, is very much bullish. However, we are looking at where would price react from. All right. So if you can see, since it couldn't break this low, we were expecting it to trade into this other block here, but it didn't. So we are still expecting price to come into the other block there. However, we still want to see, like we can see the structure now is forming a bullish move all through. Now, when we come to our 4-hour time frame, on the 4 hours, we can see again, this is still more of a bullish move. But we see what price did here the last few hours after the move on Friday. So price broke all the way to the downside to this level. And that is telling us something about the market, meaning if price has broken this level on 4 hours, then there's a tendency it wants to resume its bearish trend. Now, if price wants to resume its bearish trend, then we need to trade cautiously so that we won't be trapped if we are buying. All right. Now, on the 1 hour time frame, all we can see on 1 hour is price just forming that strong range. Can you see it now? It already cleared, price cleared Friday low. You can see it cleared Friday low, which is the NFP news event. Price cleared it to the downside early hours of today, and we still expect price, to rally a bit all the way to this level, 2038 level. So if I want to short, I will be willing to short around 2038 level, somewhere around this place if I truly want to short. But currently now, that's what price is doing. And if you come to your lower time frame, probably 15 minutes, to see if there's any entry for a buy, just for you to be sure of it, then you can see on the 15 minutes, the buy entry has not really formed. Although I saw something like that on the 5-minute time frame, like the buy entry on 5-minute time frame, it formed earlier, 5 minutes, but now is looking more like a confused market. So just let's allow market digest what is currently on the chart now. Let's allow market digest it. Okay, now Going forward this week, we expect gold to rally a bit to the upside before it's now tank back to the downside. So that is what we are expecting on gold. Allow it to rally a bit then before it tank back to the downside. So that is what we are looking out for on gold. Now for the JPY pair, the yen basket, we can see on the yen basket, on the weekly time frame, if you look at yen basket is still, there's already a structure shift, but price couldn't take out this particular low here. So we expect price to still continue its bullish trend. We are still very much bullish, like we want to see the yen basket bullish. Now on the daily time frame, we see what happened last week, the buy to the upside, and market opening today also forming something like that for it to move to the upside. However, if you look at it on the 4-hour time frame, it's telling us that yen is a bit bearish. Can you see it now? Which is telling us that the yen correlated pairs, there's high tendency this week, today rather, they move to the upside. But if yen is going to come back to, all this void to the downside, all this sell, we still expect it, to clear, like pull back. If it truly wants to sell, then let it rally all the way back to this left shoulder here, then we can follow it to the downside if it truly wants to sell. So that is our outlook for the yen for the week. Our bias for the yen for the week is still kind of more of a bullish move because of the weekly time frame. And on the 1-hour time frame, if you look at 1-hour time frame on the yen basket, yes, it's showing us is bearish. Yes, bearish, but I don't think you want to sell from this level, from this low here. So if that is what we are looking out for, our yen correlated pairs, we really need to watch out for them and see what are the other things that influence their move. For example, now the GJ, if you look at GJ, JPY currently now it already broke. This is a kind of level of break to the downside, but it's not really that much violent. So if you go to 15 minutes to confirm this move on GJ, because we are anticipating a yen buy. So if the yen basket would buy, then this guy need to sell. Now, if I want to short GJ now, where would I short it from? That's going to be somewhere around this place, this particular level here. You see this zone is more of my short zone, then my SL will be somewhere above this level, this high here. So that is for the yen pairs, and I would advise we trade cautiously because the market is kind of still digesting what came in on Friday. So let's watch out to see, okay, where are we heading to this week in the market before we jump into any execution. And make sure you see your entry pattern in the market before executing. Make sure you see your entry pattern. If you don't see your entry pattern, there's no business executing anything. Is that clear now? All right. If there is any question, let's quickly take some before we call it a day. Any question, please? Any question? Online community, please let me get a question if there's any question. All right. Oluwatosin, any question? Yeah, type in your question. Let's get it before we call it a day. Type in your question. Type in. Any question? All right. In case if there is no question, like we said earlier, this week rather, we'll be having our ATM Plus Android for those who are just trying out, starting out in trading. Is there any hope of V75 TD also once in a while for some of us on the Yeah, based on that, V75, every Thursday, if you're our student, every Thursday, we used to have our student traders forum for V75. So we meet in the class for V75 every Thursday. So that will be when we are going to be talking about anything V75 on Thursdays. This one is majorly for the currency market. So market reaching 50% of the fair value gap, a confirmation. Yeah, sometimes it is. Because if there is a forceful move to the downside and for example, now GBP USD, there's a forceful sell to the downside that created a very big void to the downside. Now you won't want to, there's high tendency price won't come back to close all those void. So you just mark like 50% of it, then there's high tendency price gets to 50% of those void and it turns back to the direction it's coming back from. Does that make sense now? So that is why sometimes if there is a forceful break, maybe to the downside or to the upside, you just have to mark, let's say, the 50% of the fair value gap. Then when price get there, you can easily execute. Just give it, if you know it looks risky to you, just divide your lot size by 2 and see what price does at those levels. Does that make sense now? Oh, Euro USD. Is it necessary? If you've done the boot camp, do you mean Oladipo, do you mean FS boot camp? Now the ATM Plus is different from FS boot camp. That one is majorly for synthetic. So if you want to enroll for that one, you can easily reach out to us on our WhatsApp line. All right. So it's different from boot camp. Euro USD. Now someone asking Euro USD. Yeah, you can see Euro USD on the daily time frame. Look at it on the daily time frame. This is it. When you come late for TDA, you will not do anything. This is it. You can see Euro USD on the daily time frame. You can see the structure to the downside. However, price is still coming and there's high tendency price come to target this low, like CJ already explained. So you should go to, when you come to the 4-hour time frame to check on the 4-hour time frame, you see this void that is being marked. So we expect price to, buy all the way to this level. When price gets to this fair value gap, this is an RFID left and right. So when price gets there, that's when you can look out to short Euro USD. Get point now. So we expect price to still rally into this level before it continue its short to the downside. All right. So on 1 hour too, you are going to see that same level. You see it clearly on 1 hour. So we expect price to rally to that level before it shorts to the downside. So that is the level where the mark for the Euro USD. Person asking, would there be any need for someone who already did ATM cash flow to register for Android training? Yes, you can. If you want to, you can. If you have ATM cash flow is just an advanced system for the ATM Plus. You get the point now. ATM cash flow gives you the broad view of the market on your system and everything. But if you strictly want to stay, using your phone alone for analysis and the likes like that, you can opt in for the ATM Plus too if you truly want to do that. Yeah. Any other question, please? Any other question? All right. If there is no any other question, we have our ATM cash flow training. That one is going for 100,000 naira. Sunshine Scalping Plus, 60,000. FS Bootcamp, 125,000. And our value flow models too are there to help you, be specialized on whatever pair you are trading. That goes for 150,000 naira. So we'll be looking forward to having you on board for any of these courses. And make sure this week you trade cautiously, use your proper risk management strategy, and don't allow the market to trap you. All right. Thank you very much. This will be the end of today's TDA. See you tomorrow morning, 8:30 is the time. Cheers and God bless.